with this movement. So doing mount, starting from mount, right? So it's like an arm bar drill. So just to get used to the movement, I think good way to learn the arm bar. So from here, I'm not gonna be using my hands to hold the arm. I'm just using my hands to stay posted on the mat like this. So I'm gonna start sliding my knee above the head like this. I can straighten my other leg, fold it under the arm. I can leg over, then I sit down. Right? Come back up. I start doing it on the other side. Same thing. The whole time, I'm just keeping my hands on the mat. So this helps me balance. So common mistake like when learning the arm bar is if I like slide my knee like this way, it's super hard for me to move. If my hands on the mat like this, I can easily like get the angle I need to start going for the arm bar. See, then I can sit down. So again, from here, I want both legs going towards his legs so I can come back to mount efficiently. Right? So again, from here, hands on the mat. I want my knee to slide all the way up above his head. Here, sliding like this. I straighten the other leg. See, from here, I straighten the other leg and I fold it under the arm. See? So it's like I'm in this position. See, in the mount. So here, I straighten it and it slide it under. Right? Now from here, I can start posting on the other side. I bring my leg over the face, then I sit down. Right? Another thing I want you to like be aware of is like whenever I slide my knee above the head, I straighten this leg and fold it under. I want to keep my weight over his chest like this, right? Right? You don't want to like sit down on the mat take away like this, right? I want to keep my weight on his chest, right? Now from here, I start sliding over. Then once my leg's over his face, I can start sitting down to the mat. Right? Like that. Full speed. Right. Got it. That's right. 1, 2. Here, usually it's gonna be hard for me to like go for the armbar. The way we did the armbar earlier was he's already like extended his arm away, right? So it's easy for me to start sliding my knee under and start going for my armbar, right? This time, he's gonna be keeping his elbows close to his body. So it's gonna be like hard for me to like slide up and just use my legs to go for the armbar. Right, so I need to open him up first. So one thing I want to do is I want to bring his hand away from his body. Right, so from here I can start sliding his hand towards the mat where I can pin it and start controlling from here. Right, so another way to do it is I can cross my hands like this. Get like a cross grip. Then I use my other hand to again push the hand to the mat. So common mistake here is like push. If I just push using my hand like this, right, my arm strength, if he's stronger, it's gonna be hard for me to like push all the way to the mat. So I want to like go at an angle where I can like start locking my arms, then using my upper body to like pin the wrist to the mat. Okay, so again, I can be here, pin the wrist to the mat. Once I'm able to pin the wrist to the mat, I start going for my cross face. I get the wrist, then I can start going for underhook. Right? Once I have the underhook, first option, I get my own wrist. I can just slide my elbow to the other side of his head. Then I can start going for my Americano. So again, I'm gonna be here trying to pin the hand to the mat. So one thing to focus on then is once I'm able to like bring the hand outside the shoulder like this, usually it's gonna be like weaker, like compared to like just pushing from here, right? So trying to bring the hand outside the shoulder, then I pin it to the mat. Again, I want to start getting my cross face. I can feed it to my other hand, left hand, right? Right hand goes under the tricep. I grab my own wrist. Then from here, I sliding my elbow to the other side of his head. I can start lifting while keeping the hand on the mat. Okay, one more time. So from here, I can cross grip. I can do same side. Again, using my hand to boost. Then start stiff arm, pushing it to the mat. Cross face. Get my wrist. Then I lift. Okay, got it. So let's try. 1, 2. Trying to bring the hands to the mat. Try to pin one hand to the mat. Now, sometimes what's gonna happen is gonna be controlling its own hand. Right? It's gonna be super hard for me to like start pushing the hand to the mat, just using just the first technique that we did. So one way we can deal with the position is we want to separate the hands first. So I'm gonna control both wrists, then I start pulling one hand towards me. Then again, same thing. I can start pinning the hand to the wrist. Right? So again, when you're doing the technique, try to practice like for the person in the bottom, to keep your arms strong. Right? Even if you're not controlling the wrist, like just keep your hands strong like this, and just make it a little harder for me to like start going for this. Now sometimes he's gonna be controlling his own hand. If he controls his own hand, I want to separate the hands first. Then I do the same thing. Pin the wrist to the mat. Okay, I start going for my cross face again. So one question was, why do we want to go for the cross face? Then I think it's a good way to like connect other attacks, right, from the position, not just the Americana, but I can also start going for other possible positions. And so sometimes I'm trying to go for my Americana, maybe he's trying to lift the elbow up, right, trying to change the angle of the attack. Right? It's gonna be hard for me to like go for the Americana again. So instead of going for the Americana, I start going for the arm triangle. So try to keep your elbow down strong. Right? So I want to start lifting this arm up, and I control the armpit. See, like this. I want to bring my head outside the arm. I control my own wrist. Then I start going for the side mount. Important from here, I want to like really find the neck with my shoulder. Right? If I feel like I'm like pushing on his chin, it's not gonna be as effective. So from here, I'm really trying to find the neck, and I start pushing down on the neck. Right? Sometimes they're gonna be like super tough. Another way to make it a little tighter, I control my elbows. Then same thing, I can squeeze. So you can practice both sides, whichever side is comfortable. Again, pin the wrist to the mat. I start going for my cross face. I start going for the Americana. Maybe he's defending. Anyway he can. I start looking for my arm triangle. So from here, I keep the arm, my head. I use my head to trap the arm. I start going to side mount. Then from here, before I really try to squeeze, I want to like feel the neck with my shoulders first. Right? Once I'm able to feel the neck, I can start squeezing. If it's still not working, I can control both elbows, and same thing, I squeeze. Alright? Got it? So yeah, let's try. 1, 2. For the arm triangle choke, we want one arm like controlling this side of his neck. So I'm blocking this side of his neck. The other arm that's gonna be blocking the other side of his neck is his shoulder, like this, right? So I'm trying to get to this position where my arms like around the heel like this, then his elbows like on the side of his neck. Right? So same setup, pin the wrist to the mat. If he's connecting his hands, I want to separate first, then I can start pinning, cross face. I start getting my underhook. Once I get my underhook, I can also like cross my legs like this just for extra control. Right? Then I can start lifting. I force this position. See, I want to force his arm to this other side of his neck. Right? Once I'm here, I use my head to trap the arm there. I can connect my hands first, see, like this, before I start moving to the other side. Once I start moving to the other side, I want to, before I squeeze, I want to like really find his neck first. Once I feel his neck with my shoulder, then I can start squeezing. Alright, one more time. So separate the hands, bend the wrist, control the wrist. I get my underhook. Now once I get my underhook, I have like good control from the position. I can start like really stuffing in the position first. Again, connect my hands. Once I'm here, I find the neck, then be patient. Right? So yeah, one more round, same thing. Let's go, 1, 2. We're gonna go back to the drill that we were doing earlier. Right, so again, this time if he's controlling his hands like this, I want to separate the hands first. Again, I can pin the wrist to the mat. Right? Common scenario then, common like defense for the position is gonna use his hands to like maybe pull his arm back to the middle. Right? So he can be safe from my attack. So again, I'm gonna be here. I pin the wrist to the mat. As soon as he reaches for the other hand, I start sliding my knee up. Again, I lift. I want my arm under the elbow. Then I can start looking for my arm bar. Boost, step over, then I sit down. Okay, so I can finish. Maybe I think a good variation of the finish from here is instead of like making the pinky point me, is I want the palm facing up. When I go down, I start pushing it to the side like this. Right? Another way to finish. This isn't wrong, right? I feel like this is like one of my preferred way to finish. I feel like I have more space to like finish the armbar. So again, I'm here. I can do either side. Separate the hands, pin the wrist. He starts reaching. I start sliding up. I can start pulling the elbow up, so I get control of both his arms like this. I want to start hugging the arm, leg over, then I can sit down. Okay. Wrist, side up. I get here. Okay. So also another common scenario, he's gonna be bringing this arm over the arm like this, right? So it can be hard for me to finish. So one good way to like not deal with this position anymore is I start sliding my arm in the middle of his wrist. Right. I can trap it under my armpit. Same thing, hug the arm, leg over, then I can sit down. I can palm facing up, pushing to the side. One more time. Separate, in the wrist, slide up, I lift. He starts defending like this. I slide my hand between his arms. Then I want to bring this under my arm. Okay? I start hugging the arm. I can control my own collar like this. I can boost, leg over. Then I can sit down. Go on my back. Pushing to the side. Right? Let's try. 1, 2. Pin the wrist to the mat. He starts controlling the arm. So I slide my leg up. So I slide this way so he can't hide his elbow anymore. Right? If I'm like this, or if I'm not really controlling the elbow, he can start like sliding the elbow down. I lose the position. So once I'm able to like slide the knee above the head like this, I'm already trapping the arm. Right? One way you can defend is just gonna control his arm over like this, where I can start like really controlling the other side. Okay? Now, from here, if he's controlling like this, I want to slide my hand in between and bring it under my armpit. I start controlling my own collar just to keep the arm tight already, right? Boost, then I sit down. Separate. Okay, so sometimes if they're not really defending, if they're just like this, right, I can just go straight for the arm, control my own wrist, my collar like this again, leg over, and sit down. So every time they're defending, that's the only time you're gonna go for the, like, trapping the arm under your armpit. Alright, so yeah, one more time again. Goal, somehow get under his elbow, right, get underhook control. So from here, I want to first bring his hands to the mat. Once I'm able to bring the hand to the mat, first attack, I'm gonna go for is the Americana. I control the wrist. I go for my own wrist. I start sliding my elbow outside the side again. Go for the first one. Second one, again, same setup. Always trying to pin the wrist to the mat. I start going for this. Maybe from here, he starts lifting the elbow, trying to like not give me the Americana position. So instead of the Americana, I start stopping his elbow to the side so I can like set up my arm triangle. Again, from here, before I squeeze, I look for the neck first, then I can start squeezing. Last one, same setup. Separate the hands, pin the wrist to the mat. He reaches, I slide up. I can go for my arm. I can do it this way, or if he defends, I slide my hand between his arms. Then I go for my arm. Alright, so see you, 1, 2.